Welcome back. Happy Friday to Being Guillén here in the Ozzie Jr.
Here in sunny Chicago.
Sunny Chicago. Yes. But welcome back to Being Guillén on this beautiful Friday. Myself and Oney, we need to find out where's Ozzie Guillén. But before we find out where Ozzie is at, we want to say congratulations to our friend. Felicitaciones a nuestro pana. Our guy, Miguel Cabrera, Miggy, has become the Venezuelan with the most hits in our history, which is a great feat on his way to 3,000. But as you may know, we don't have a Venezuelan with 3,000 hits because it's not very easy to do.
Yeah, this is special. It hits home because we were there to see Miguel's first big league at bat. We were literally there in the stadium. We were there in spring training when they told us about this young phenom to go watch him in the backfields. Obviously, we were normal teenagers. This guy was huge. So for him to be able to do that and for us to be able to see his whole career, obviously we know his family, we know his kids. We spent a lot of time with him. Obviously the Marlins break in and he wins a World Series. He's had such an unbelievable career and he's made hitting look so easy. And what impresses me that he's made hitting look so easy. But Miguel Cabrera is one of the best clutch players of all time, 7 inning and on, which to me is very impressive. He hits when it matters the most. We hadn't seen a Triple Crown since 1940s, I believe, and he gets that done. He was, before Mike Trout was coming into his own, there was Miguel Cabrera in the American League. He was the standard. He was the American League Albert Pujols. He's not a fast guy, which basically means all his 2,800 hits have been legit hits, so no cheapies.
Which is something that when people talk about Ichiro,
when you're fast.
I'm saying when you're fast, you're going to get more hits. But the part that I have couple Miguel Cabrera funny stories. Number one, I was his bad boy in his first hit, but shared fake IDs with him.
That's the one that I was going to get to. This guy, Miguel Cabrera, used to use Ozzie's fake ID to go out in Miami. Ozzie's always had older facial hair.
But it's just 10. Funny, like going back though, and again, when you look at Miggy's career, and again, I don't want to share so much because I think he's going to get to 3,000, and I want to do a huge special on him in 3,000. But check out my interview with him on Vida Baseball on YouTube.
It's probably one of the better interviews that I've seen. And now Miguel Cabrera is very, he's a veteran. He's vocal. He expresses himself. Just like 2 weeks ago, we saw him have that little scuff up with Madrigal on the Sox. He's not an easy interview to get. His personality is great. If you know him, he's always having a fun time. But if you get on his bad side,
Well, one of the things that's interesting, though, is this past weekend, okay, and this has to do with Miguel, I played a baseball game. This past week, I played a baseball game. So I played right field in a men's league, open age. And in the sixth inning, I took myself out. I had scored from second base. I had been running to the outfield. And the whole time I'm thinking, because I was the day after he broke the
how is this guy doing it for so long?
I'm and again, he's a professional athlete, but we're both still
the same
age.
Getting old sucks.
Correct. And my body, and it wasn't that I was hurt. I was just I'm just just wearing the cleats itself.
And you know what? Even before we jump into the next topic of getting old and just playing, think about this. Miguel Cabrera has really been hurt for the last 3 years.
3 years.
He's been dealing with a really bad ankle.
I think he made a mistake. And we'll talk about
playing through the injury
because the Tigers were good then.
Yeah,
he really wanted another ring.
But he's a gamer. He's a gamer. He tore his bicep, so he has 2,800 hits. He really should be a lot closer to 3,000 if he's healthy. He gets there, no problem.
If he's healthy, he gets there. So where's Ozzie? And right now we're gonna find out.
Yeah. So my dad is not here.
Well, I love when you call him my dad. Here we go.
Yeah. So Ozzie is in Florida right now. He's in Miami for Osney's graduation from college. We're FaceTiming him right now. He's a little upset that the weather is warm here and I guess it's cloudy in Miami.
It's cloudy in Miami, Ozzie?
It's horrible. It's been raining here all day, no gas.
Well, you look good. You look like you did your beard and stuff.
Traffic I do my beard with Gio back in Chicago. Obviously we have gone here Hugo. I just went to Chicago, represent here in Miami, Dobbs.
Okay. So how does it feel to be, you obviously like us, you saw Miguel Cabrera. You're also on that list. You're number 10, Venezuelan hits. How does it feel that Miguel Cabrera has 2,800 hits, past Omar Vizquel? He's probably on his way to be the best Venezuelan player to ever live. How does it feel to have that relationship, to coach Miguel, to go against him? What are your thoughts?
He was a ball player before he been born. That kid is just got so much talent. He was a shortstop before, gone to the big league, played different position, playing very well. But look at that career he has. This guy is all natural. I don't think he's going to be the best. I think he's already the bestest. With all my respect to Aparicio, Vizquel, Abreu, all those great players that come out of my country. But Miguel is just a special people, great human being. Obviously, we can talk to him about what career he's had. It's just amazing. I got a chance to see him. His first hit in the big league now. See his career go through it. It's amazing.
Well, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to graduation. Ozzie is actually graduating college.
Enjoy
it. And now he's the hitting guru. We're gonna have him soon on La Vida Baseball explain about hitting. But Ozzie, enjoy it. Thank you guys. Enjoy Florida. We're gonna get back to the show.
I miss you guys.
You missed, but stop lying. Bye. So.
Yeah, I miss them.
By the way, new nickname for Ozzie
is
Mr. Random.
Just random.
You can ask him about one thing,
and he'll jump
into another topic.
Miguel's first hit was against Tampa. He was 0 for 4, home run to center field, walk off.
So we'll do another huge segment on Miguel. Again, congratulations to Ozzie. He is graduating from college. Puts pressure on Oney because Ibis likes kids with diplomas, even though you do not need your diploma to be successful in life. It doesn't measure the person or how successful you can be. But school is a good thing. It's coming from a guy with a master's. But let's go right into tip our cap, the Roberto Clemente tip your cap of the week. Okay. Obviously here in La Vida Baseball, we're celebrating year of 21 all year round. And we're tipping our cap to another kid that I've actually met when he was younger than Miguel Cabrera.
When he was 3,
I did not give him a fake ID. But I guess I can say his nickname and not get in trouble.
El Gordo.
When they were so they call him El Negro, but now
El Gordo.
But he's no longer El Gordo. He looks
thin.
really, really good. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Probably one of the most exciting, could be one of the most successful Dominican families.
It has
in baseball. The Alus are there, but numbers wise, him and his father and his uncle, they're going to be up there.
Very good.
He had a great week. So he's on my fantasy team. Had a game when he had three home runs, but he's doing a lot off the field. And this is the part that I like, the transition with Vladdy Jr. I had a little beef with La Vida Baseball. We love kids players. And it was like Vladdy Jr. Like Vladdy Jr. went to the bathroom. Vladdy Jr. with the Canadian thing. And the first year was a lot of hype.
Yeah, he struggled.
Looked like he did not miss a dinner. Meaning he ate a lot. He looked bigger. And I didn't want him to become a cliche of Vladimir Guerrero Sr.'s son, because I think he has enough talent that he is his own man. He could be like a Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonds. And again, he played with Bo Bichette and Biggio. It's like the first year excitement, and then Tatis really hadn't gotten kicked off. And then obviously Tatis in the short season blew up. Yeah. And it took away all the attention from Vladdy.
And they're both,
he's just
MLB
as good.
kids.
Hold on, he's just as good. So this season, I think that no pressure. Okay, the position is moved, and he is playing so well, and he's such a big catalyst part of that Toronto team. But I love the fact that he is maturing. You can see that he is growing. He's I always say this because I've battled with weight. When you're a professional baseball player and you're that young and you start taking care of your body, that means that you care. Because let's be honest, he could be 40 pounds overweight and he'd still be playing. But in his longevity, he's like, I got to do this now, not to do later. So that's why I admire. That's why I take my cap to Mr. Vladdy Jr.
Yeah, another guy that we met, and obviously, when our father was a coach in Montreal, we've known Vladdy his whole life, and then now his son is coming into his own. It's also strange and also kind of cool that he's doing it in Canada. Obviously, they're in Dunedin right now, but he's doing it for the Blue Jays, like his dad had to start for the Montreal Expos. So the kids already spent a lot of time in Canada. Hopefully, fans and the Canadian, they open up the Sky Dome for the team to go back there. But he's doing great, had 3 bombs in the game. His dad never did that. His dad was very vocal on Twitter, like, congratulations. He looks thin. They got a really cool thing going in Toronto, and I feel like they're probably a year or two away
but they're
from
there.
being a force.
They're a couple pitchers away, but they're there. I love their young core, but he's the real deal. Also, he's always giving back. So a social media that's about family, okay, he's always giving back in the DR. But one thing that people don't know about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., okay, that I think is kind of lost in his myth of a baseball player is how much he gives back. And I know this from a personal experience. When my family hosted Ozzie Guillén La Subasta, which was basically the auction of solidarity with Ozzie Guillén, a lot of players would come from all over the world, and obviously the DR was a big part of that. But one of the players that said yes to multiple times to coming there was Vladimir Guerrero. And when I say multiple times, I mean he would go there with his brother Wilton. He'd bring family members, but all we have to do for them is pay the plane ticket, and then they're going there. They're not getting paid.
I would say that you say they're not getting paid. If you were to ask me about Vladimir Guerrero Sr. and probably his son, I've probably never met more humble people in baseball. I mean, this Vladdy, you wouldn't know the difference of. He's just happy, flip-flops on, lives in his hometown. They're very humble people. They keep their circle very small, and I'm glad his son and his grandmother is still alive. Obviously, she's very famous for, like we said last week, serving everybody food, which is a hard thing to do to keep the weight off when your grandma's cooking arroz and bistec.
And Vladdy didn't have weight issues young in his career. I will have a funny story, though, about Vladdy Jr.
And we got people saying that they live next to Dunedin, and obviously, that it's fun to –
Well, go watch. Again, there's teams that want to relocate. Dunedin showing the love. But no, so that's awesome that they get to see a spring training. But a funny story, though. Pitchers are having a really hard time of getting him out. Wear a Yuppie costume. I wonder if he's still scared of Yuppie. When he was a little kid.
He used to be terrified of the Expos mascot.
Next
which
week
was
we're going to show a picture
weird
of it.
because it was like an orange weird thing. I don't know.
And the funny thing was that back then, this was one of the last Expo seasons. So not a lot of fans. Sometimes just family members at the stadium. So he could see where the mascot was at all times.
Yeah, good old Olympic Stadium.
Good old Olympic Stadium.
Man, a town that should definitely get a baseball team back.
I agree.
That's Montreal and Vegas, because I know Oakland's talking about relocating. Montreal and Vegas are my number one.
The only cities that should get a stadium, that should get a team, are either Montreal, because it was robbed from them, but they weren't supporting, and then Las Vegas. Those are the only two cities that make sense.
And then after that, I mean, maybe Nashville, but I would stick with
I'm be surprised, though. Like, we can do a whole show on relocation. Tampa should consider it.
Yes.
There's a lot of teams that should consider.
Tampa's been good, and still can't.
You want me to be controversial?
Say we're not moving the Sox.
The Las Vegas White Sox.
It almost happened once.
Sarasota almost happened, but again, we talk about that. Don't get mad at us. So a lot's been going on. Again, I got to find the next segment. So minor league memories. This is where we're going, right?
Yes, sir.
Minor league memories. And sorry, my iPad today. Adela watched too many cartoons and I don't have it with me, so I have to do it from my phone. But minor league memories. Get something clear right now. I never played in the minor leagues because of a couple things. Not a lack of talent, because there's been worse players in the minor leagues than me at that time, but lack of love for the game. And again, I don't think that I deserve to be there. But when you really go and play minor league baseball, you're literally sacrificing a couple years of your life. Because it's that hands down worse than college baseball, worse than high school baseball, worse than Latin American baseball because you're away from your country. It's a league. It should be called a league of sacrifice, okay? A league where everyone on the field is playing for two guys. And when I say two guys, means every scout is there to watch two prospects. And everyone there knows that. And other guys are just trying to prove the organization wrong that they can make it to the big leagues. So either you're a superstar and you make it, Gordon Beckham, which we've known for a long time, and he was awesome and he destroyed the minor leagues, or you can be a guy like Eduardo Escobar. So, Oney, what's your minor league story for this week?
You know, the minor leagues, I'll say it again, underpaid. You play for the love of the game. You just feel for these guys, because I've seen literally guys would get paychecks and then they would walk to Western Union and they would have to basically send all their money, because a lot of these guys had kids. They would send all their money to the Dominican Republic, to Mexico, to Puerto Rico, and you'd see how much these kids would struggle. In the minor leagues, if you had a laptop back then, it was basically considered gold.
No, because you
can talk to your family.
You can talk to, again, no FaceTime.
This is like 2006, 2005. So social media, it was starting around Facebook. But back then, if you had a webcam We used to talk on Messenger. If you had a laptop, it was basically gold. I know that I would give my laptop to Jose Martinez, to anybody, Eduardo Escobar. I let them borrow the phone. It's very, very, very crazy to see how much these guys, obviously because they want to save all as much money as they can to be able to take home for the winter. So all those guys you see in the minors, right? I mean, in the big leagues right now, they have literally gone through it. I literally saw Eduardo Escobar go number 2 in a shoebox, in a Nike shoebox. The toilet was, how do you say, clogged? The toilet was clogged, and he was a bad man back then. He wasn't a man of God like he is now. He's like, I'm not cleaning I didn't clog the toilet. I'm not cleaning it. Like, how are you going to use the bathroom, man? He's like, I don't need to. I come from La Pica, Maracay. He goes, I'll go in a shoebox, and it doesn't matter. And I swear, he went in the shoebox, wiped himself, threw the shoebox away.
Currently, there's in that house.
By the way,
that
guy makes like $7 million.
By the way, in that house, though, there was Mark Hallberg, who is a big league coach.
In that house, you had Mark Hallberg,
big league coach
in the room with me, played college ball, FSU, NUIC. He's a coach now for the Giants, who are doing great. Eduardo Escobar, stud for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jose Martinez lived in that house at one point. He's making his way back from the Mets organization. This house was basically Savage 101, but I'm happy for all those guys. They made it. We used to live in Tucson, Arizona. If you really want to go to see minor league baseball, go to extended spring training. You play the same team every other day, and you're eating a lot of oranges and peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's it.
And you're also a translator also.
And I was a translator. I took care of all the Latin guys. I made sure that all the Venezuelan guys lived with me. There was days that before we had furniture that we were eating dinner off styrofoam plates.
So that's something that most people don't understand. So like when you're a fan of like soccer, like we are, and you're in the minor league system, you have like living quarters and everyone does everything together. When you're in professional baseball,
well, now the Astros are taking care of their minor leaguers and they're furnishing their apartments.
Good.
I'm like, well, every team
should do that.
Every MLB team should do that. But like Ozzie said, they don't, because the minor leagues is just a development for 2 or 3 guys that are making it to the show.
Correct. And I think if they focus more on developing on guys being happy and providing a living for them, I really think.
So we're getting someone here saying that Eduardo Escobar deserves a shoe deal. The Nike poop ones.
You know what his dream is? His dream is to be Michael Jordan.
Yes, his dream is to be Michael Jordan. Yeah. I know that one day he buys all. People think he has a deal. He makes all his custom shoes with the guy. Yeah. He pays them because he loves it.
But that's the passion. And I usually I'm not a guy to lend money, but minor league guys, I've sent money to them. And again, we it's something you have to sacrifice. The coaches as well when you're coaching in the minor leagues. You become more of a father figure. I always said this. Sometimes it's more important to me if I was a general manager. The coaches that I have in the minor leagues are more important than to my big league coaches, because when you're in the big league, you're not really teaching. You're more of a
you already have money.
No, I'm saying no, but like you're not teaching a kid how to play. You're more psychological.
Yeah, minor league guys take a big role.
Well, you have to take a big role. You're away from home, and even for the American guys, you're not going in there. A lot of guys grow up. There's not a lot of guys.
Great Falls, Montana.
There's not a lot of great baseball players coming out of Greenwich, Connecticut, like Connecticut. West Palm Beach, like rich areas in the United States. Most guys are, they're normal kids.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I played, and then I had to work in the front office, but I miss minor league baseball. Such a grind. I miss Chicago so much. The going out, the friends, and I was growing up that I said, "This is it for me. I'm done." I was tired of riding the bus. I wanted to be around normal stuff, and that's what I did.
Well, we'll keep back with more segments and stories of minor league baseball. Again, we had obviously Ozzie couldn't be with us today. We had him on the FaceTime. We have so many funny stories of him and his RB stories in Reno and Vegas. And I actually was born in the minor league. But most importantly, what's going on in the world of baseball? Okay, the world of baseball is a whirlwind right now. You have teams like the Yankees who are making a comeback. Okay, and then you got teams like Kansas City who are in a free fall. And another team that better pull the parachute, I don't think it's going to open, is teams like the Oney's Piranhas. The Twins who were swept by the White Sox, so a team in the size that looked stronger, more competitive, more ready, and I think that they slayed their first giant.
If the Twins are in trouble, you come to Chicago for a big series and you get swept, but not only do you get swept, because if you get swept and you lose a couple games close, you're like, wow, but you get swept. They got their butts kicked twice and they do a 12-3, and then like the Sox came out hitting. The Sox run differential, I believe, is the best in the game.
It's like 69, 66 runs.
They are clicking on all cylinders right now. Tony La Russa is the best manager after 2 weeks ago.
Do you like my Twitter though?
Yes, it was a great.
Do you like
picture.
my Twitter every morning? Uncle Tony says good morning, Southside.
So what happens is now, if you play good against your division, you will be there at the end. The Cleveland Indians, big series for them. They went to Chicago. They came here. They took care of business. They won yesterday in Seattle, and the Sox played 2 against the KC Royals today. Do I think the Twins are going to play better? I do. Do I think it's going to be enough to catch the Sox? I think it's going to be tough.
I also think they might be sellers. So in 2013, when Ozzie took over the Marlins, people have very short memory. Number one, they think Ozzie got fired right after the Fidel comments. That was like in April. It's like it's like episode 2 of the Showtime series, with the Marlins, the franchise. But it was like show 2. But then they were in it till like June. Like they had
the best May in the history of the Marlins.
Best May in the history of the Marlins. The team's coming out doing great. Oh, they're thinking about they're going to be buyers. And then July 5th, 6th, I believe it was a series here in Milwaukee.
We traded.
The first trade happened. So they were like 4 games out. I think
Hanley.
Trades start happening. Why? They look at the roster. We don't think we're there. I think that might happen to Minnesota. Not a high budget team. We got COVID. Okay, you're like, we can get rid of Nelson Cruz. We can get rid of a couple guys. We can rebuild for next year, and let's see what we have in the farm. And that's what might happen. You have to decide when you're winners and sellers. Obviously, the White Sox are all in. We all know that. But then you got teams like the Indians, who, sorry for saying Indians, the Tribe. Or I guess that's wrong too.
A surprise team. A surprise team to everyone else except you. They're winning games, but winning games.
But I have to say this, okay? Their general manager, their franchise is deep and real prospects, not prospects that Twitter builds up. Guys that when you legit, they're the best pitching team in Major League Baseball for the past 10 years. Meaning they just create studs. Beaver.
Well, now they have
Bauer. No, I'm saying like guys that have come out of that organization. So I think they need a bat. Okay? Because the White Sox have had their injuries.
Why not?
Unless Ochivo.
Why not put Nelson Cruz behind Ramirez?
That's what I'm saying. But would they do that with like
in the division?
In the same division. But I'm saying I've talked about Chris Bryant. They don't have an outfielder. You put Chris Bryant in that middle of that lineup.
Wow.
You rent him out for a year. If the Cubs are looking to move Wilson Contreras,
oh my God, yeah, you put Wilson Contreras there.
You send McKenzie. Wow. You put McKenzie and you put Wilson behind the plate. So again, there's a lot of moves that they can be made, but I think because I'm more worried for them for injuries, guys are going to slow down. Again, the White Sox, I think, have had most of their injuries. They just kind of hope that Ochivo's not running around again there with
the Sox have they've pitched well, and right now they're tearing the cover off the ball. Lance Lynn was great in his outing. Everybody's been doing Rodon's throwing the ball like crazy. And now it's getting warm in Chicago. So you expect teams to come here and start hitting more. Like a day like today, today's a big day for Kansas City. You go out there and you win the first one, you start feeling good, you think you can take the second one, or if the Sox come out and
I think with Kansas City, first of all, Mondesi's coming back. Okay? They're just playing bad baseball. Like they're
like 1-10
they're
last game.
Like more than I think they're like 2 in the last 2-17. Santana's obviously his bat's a little slow, but again, we've seen teams come back. Again, the team that everyone's obsessed with, the Mets, but I think a team that is the real deal, okay, is the Braves. I think the Braves, when you look at them, Acuna, Kung Fu Panda, even our cousin Aided off the bench, they're very complete. Albies is healthy. Yeah, Osuna did not miss a step. Meaning everyone that thought that he did good because it was a shortened season, he's still raking.
I think that the Atlanta Braves will be in the NLCS.
By the way, remember the World Series pick that I had?
I think you picked Atlanta.
I picked the Atlanta Braves.
Didn't we pick Atlanta Dodgers?
We picked Atlanta Dodgers, but I'm saying I picked Braves, Indians. Sorry for the Indians. Braves, Cleveland in the showdown of the series.
If you're an ATL fan, you got to feel good. Ronald Acuna is amazing, and I'm going out on a limb. Venezuela will see the second ever MVP. Colorado never won an MVP.
No.
They will see the second ever MVP of the National League.
Also selected him before the season started.
But I got him on FanDuel. Ronald Acuna will be the National League MVP, barring injury. He is locked in.
Did you see his stats? So 162 games, first guy to ever hit 50 home runs and steal 42 bases.
I mean,
in the history of the game, measuring 62.
If you combine them,
now they do every stat though, so why not?
He is electric, and he will be in Atlanta for a long, long time. Best player they've had in Atlanta since Chipper.
And I think that the guy was going to be competing against him was Soto. Not a lot happening there for him.
Yeah, I don't think. And now they're building the hype. The team in Atlanta is designed around him.
And Tatis is not.
He hits leadoff.
Yeah,
and he is just.
He's electric. Watch him. So this takes us to obviously our next segment. Okay, the American League and the National League. We want to know who's real, who's not. Okay, so 25% of the season has happened, but this is like real or fake. This is like when you're in a relationship and you're like month 4. Is
this gonna go somewhere?
Is this going somewhere? Meaning, is this going to the dumpster truck, or is this a real deal? Or when what I'm saying is this is a real deal is sometimes you think you're in love and it's happening.
Am I going to propose?
And you invest the next 3 years of your life, and at the end
you get dumped.
Okay.
Never invest in a woman unless you're going to get that return back.
Well, that's words of advice by Oney.
And I've lived.
And he's lived. So we got a list here right now. Okay. So we're going to talk about titles. Okay. But for me, titles are huge, but you have to have a certain element of luck. In order to compete for titles, you have to get into the playoffs.
So is this real or fake saying they're going to get into the playoffs?
Are they for real or are they fake?
Okay.
So is this hype news? So I'm going to go up down the road. So we're going to start off with the team that I apologize on a consistent basis. I said they would lose 100 games. Okay. Other than Jared from Barstool Sports, who is Alex Cora's #1 fan, also cover thing. He said that this team was going to be good in like spring training. I thought he was just a fandom guy. I said the utility Red Sox, they're in first place. Okay, are they real or fake? And I'm gonna go with real.
25%
of okay. So
I'm gonna go with real because I tell you what, Alex Cora could be doing his best managerial job. He'll be the manager of the year if he keeps this up. No one expected him to be there, but I think the Red Sox will be there at the end. I think they're real.
So 23-16, Oney says they're real. They're leading by a game and a half. They also have a great run differential, plus 36. And a lot of guys still coming back from injuries. So the second shot at real or not, we'll go with the Chicago White Sox.
Also real. They will be battling the Peekaboo Indians all August to September. Depends to see when these guys come back from injury, but I believe the Sox are for real. Do I think they have a chance of winning the title? I do not.
Okay, so if that's Peekaboo Indians, do you think the Indians are for real or not?
Also for real. The Indians, if you have good pitching in any league, the CNBA or any league, you're only as good as your starting pitching. That means that when these guys go play every day, they have a shot to win. All you got to do is get a couple runs, couple timely hits. So every time they go pitch, imagine going to the ballpark and you're like, oh, Bieber's pitching. They have that feeling with Bieber. They have that feeling with all their guys.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling. Terry Francona has got to love his chances because every day they take the mound, they're like, yes, we have a chance to win.
Okay, so we're going to go by like division leaders or people that are fighting in there. Do you think the Astros are the real deal at a game and a half behind out of first place?
Who are they behind?
Oakland.
Do I think the Astros are for real? No.
Toronto Blue Jays, who are in second place at a game and a half.
No. I think the Astros are going to be competitive because they're a veteran team. And
so Astros no.
And Blue Jays no.
Blue Jays no. Okay, how about we're going to
I think the Blue Jays need more, once they get into those dog days of summer, they're going to hit a
National League East. The New York Mets are actually up in first place. It's Mets, Phillies, Atlanta, Miami, Washington. Do you think the Mets are the real deal?
No.
Okay.
I think the Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals and the Phillies and the Braves will be better than the Mets.
Okay. St. Louis, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Cubs, Pittsburgh.
What a
St. Louis.
The weirdest division.
Do you think they're for real?
I think the Cardinals will win the division.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we got good old San Francisco, the one that we always want to talk about, the team of Gabe Kapler. We got friends, former college friend and teammate, Oney's former college friend and teammate, both on the team, but the San Francisco Giants at 23-14, are they for real or not?
I do not think they're for real. Hopefully it'll be a great story for baseball, but I think at the end, the Padres and the Dodgers will overtake them. They're just hoping to Keep it up. But let me tell you, man, baseball is a grind. And we saw with the 03 Marlins, it doesn't matter. You can just get hot and all of a sudden, or you could just get cold and just tank.
Another another suggestion for the Tribe Cleveland team for a possible trade
is
Peralta, outfield, Diamondbacks. Give them a call.
And by the way, their Diamondbacks dance, it's awesome. The thing that they do in the wind. But Peralta's a great player. I think the Diamondbacks got a couple interesting pieces.
So do they keep him and rebuild?
No, think about it. They have Peralta. Eduardo Escobar's on his last year of his contract. Also a very interesting figure.
Could he play?
He could play outfield.
He could play outfield.
He could play outfield.
He could play right
He
field.
could play the corners. He's a switch hitter. He still runs well. Very interesting. But I feel like the Diamondbacks will re-sign him after the offseason because they love him in Arizona.
Okay, but go play somewhere, get a ring,
come back.
and then come back. You
Absolutely.
can always do that. Do you have anything for the Guillén guaranteed?
Well, before that, we have someone saying if Cleveland picks up the bat, they will be a scary team. ATL takes the East, St. Louis, and the Dodgers. So they agree with the Cleveland is scary. Plesac was their worst pitcher. He almost threw a no-hitter yesterday.
Yeah, no. For me, it's about a peak.
When are you peaking?
When are you
Don't peak right now.
Saying when are you taking
hitting
off?
your stride?
Hitting your stride. And 25% of the season, I think we were so excited. Baseball's in there. I'm checking the scorebook every day.
Yeah.
People
don't realize
what was my own mind, Seattle? 14.5?
15.5.
Marlins when Jeff got fired, Torberg?
12, 13 games.
12, 13 games.
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling you. Even the Twins right now, they feel like they're in it. They're only 7 games back.
You start
the
playing
1995 Mariners were 14 games out with a month and a half to go.
Yeah, that's the my year. They took down the Yankees and then they go into the playoffs, saves basically baseball in Seattle. Griffey, Randy. And
it's about getting hot at the right time.
If you get hot at the right time, again, injuries. And again, the part that I'm scared about the White Sox, I'm going to be honest. Do I think Yasmani Grandal, for example, is going to hit 0.91? No.
I also don't think Yermin is going to hit 700.
But I also don't think Jermaine Mercedes is going to hit 700. I also don't think that, Speedy is going to play center field like he is Pantera. Billy Hamilton. So he
looks so awkward in the uniform.
So those are things those are all things that you're okay, that you really want guys to take it to the next step. It's okay, you got one guy here. So if you have Grandal produce, okay, so if Grandal goes to normal, Mercedes,
right? And I feel like the Twins are missing when they were playing well. They had Buxton, who was their best player.
And he's going to come back. Again, so it's the Twins depending on the one. So again, if you have any questions, again, please send them in the chat. I'm sure that those guys are watching at that bar where they're not a big fan of me.
Top Bar Hat and Grill.
Top Bar Hat and Grill. By the way, Top Hat Bar and Grill, I hope that this morning you woke up and said, thank you, Uncle Tony.
And give him a little hug and kiss.
Give him a hug and kiss.
The Guillén guarantee for me is that...
So we're competing against El Adivino, by the way.
Okay.
El Adivino is actually... his record's not very good, but he says that
it's never his fault.
It's always the player's fault.
The Guillén guarantee is, I think Kansas City comes out of their slump
for today.
So
to bet Kansas City today.
Bet Kansas City. I'm betting them. I'm betting them to take 2.
Ask for Oney for baseball advice, never the NBA.
Yeah, no.
Russell Westbrook triple double.
We lost it by 2 points. 2 points. We're gonna come back and get it. But that's my Guillén guarantee. I would bet the Kansas City Royals, and then I would also bet
same game parlay,
and I would also take the San Diego Padres. And they're
in a parlay.
You bet the Royals, and then you bet the Padres.
Who I call it sports wagering.
Yes,
sounds
and
nicer.
You use your points bet or FanDuel, parlay them, and for the Sox game today, I think it's 7 or 8 over. Take the over. I think it's going to be a slugfest. It's early. The ball's going to be flying. Take the over. That's my Guillén guarantee. I'm going to do it right now as well. So let's try to see if we can make some money.
Yeah,
gas is expensive. I just paid like $45 of gas in Lamont. And today, huge game for my Lamont Indians. We play the Providence High School. So let's go.
So my Guillén guaranteed is going to be I'm going to take the Marlins, okay, versus Kershaw. They're at plus 200.
And the Cleveland versus Seattle game.
I'm going to take Cleveland. Okay. I also think that the reason that I'm doing this is because I don't think that Kansas City can keep losing that many games to
they got to come out of it at some point.
At one point, they have to snap.
So they're like a what? They're like a plus what?
They're a plus 174.
Plus 174.
So I just bet
take those odds.
$5. Okay, will they give me a booster? Yes, indeed.
Take those odds. Kansas City.
And I'm not even going to tell you on what app I did it until they sponsor my show. So
of course,
that's the way they did. Again, I'm going to say this, and somebody's going to say, here's $25 free bets. Oh, and I'll say your name. So congratulations again to Mr. Miguel Cabrera. I hope that everyone is staying safe. Oh, by the way, if CDC, not a doctor, Google it. If you're vaccinated,
you don't have to wear a mask.
You don't have to wear a mask. The question is,
if you want to wear a mask, wear it.
I want to wear it.
You can rock it all the time. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't force people to do stuff.
Okay, well, we don't want to get taken off the air now.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, if you want to wear a mask, wear it. You could wear it for the next 20 years. You want to wear a mask.
They do in Asia, so why not? So again, congratulations, Miguel Cabrera. Congratulations, Ozzie, finally graduating. And obviously your new hitting endeavors as a hitting coach.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. And again, thank you so much. So from the Being Guillén crew, we will be here back next week. And I hope that you
bet that money.
Take that Guillén guaranteed, and we'll see you soon. And we'll see how La Divino does next week. See you guys. Adios.